on various platforms for students, parents, and general public. She has organized national, international seminars related to youth empowerment, women empowerment, and faculty enrichment. She has also authored articles regarding the same. She is a member of Ethical Committee of SDM Ayurvedic College run by Shri Virendra Hegde. She is also a member of different boards of PESIT University and MS Ramaya Group of Institutions. And Disha Bharat has been active in the field of value education since the year 2005. Thousands of students have been inspired to become catalysts of social change through Disha Bharat. So without further ado, I present Srimati Rekha Ramachandran.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's start my speech. This one. Without further ado, I'd like to call Subhash Garapran sir to present the sapling to Srimati Rekha Ramachandran. Now, I would like to call Srimati Rekha Ramachandran to share her thoughts and inspirations with us.
रत्नाकरा ध्योतपदां हिमालय किरीटिनीं ब्रह्म राजश्री रत्नाढ्यां वंदे भारत मातरम वंदे भारत मातरम वंदे भारत मातरम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. I think I'll take the hand mic. So good morning all of you. Good morning. Good morning. Had your tiffin all of you? Breakfast? Good morning all of you. Good morning. Thank you. So is there anybody here who attended Disha Bharat program, online program? I'm sure it's yours is a Corona batch. Am I right? We did have the induction program online. Is there anybody who's attended that program? No? Okay, maybe there's a different batch then. Okay, so very happy to be a part of KLE Law College. Disha Bharat has been a part of KLE Law College for more than 10 years now. When you were in the other campus also, we were a part of it, right? So thank you very much, Rashmi, for the opportunity. Sir, also all the faculty members for the opportunity, right? So let's start the program with a small, I hope I don't bore you, okay? I want to see all of you in a smiling face. Why have you been invited here? Why? You've been asked to come to the auditorium, but why? Anybody? Do you see that? Did you see that? Tell me now. To talk, to at least hear about whom? Swami Vivekananda, right? Anybody here knows when was he born? When was he born? Any idea? Man, what are you asking? It's way back when asking us this question, right? Okay, friends, it was the year 1863. When he passed away, any idea? Any idea? Yes, absolute. 38 years. Very good. 39, right? You're almost very close to the answer. Very good. He passed away in the year 1902. Friends, this is the 161st birthday of Swami Vivekananda we are celebrating. So many people in between have come and gone. But why do you think we need to celebrate his birthday now? Do you think it's relevant? Anybody? Ma'am, yavatto huttidru, yavatto hodru, yak ma'am iga? Is there anybody who thinks like that here? Obviously, nothing wrong. Does anybody have a thought? How many of you know Kannada? I'm sorry, I should not be talking. Many are there who don't know Kannada. How many of you don't know Kannada? Oh, quite a few. Okay, I'll make it mostly English, little bit of Kannada. Okay? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರಿಂದ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, so I'll make a mix of both English and Kannada. Okay, friends, now 161 years back this person was born and is gone. And still, do you know, my dear friends, 150th birthday of Swami Vivekananda was celebrated by 120 countries. In the year 2013, 120 countries across the globe celebrated his birthday. Why? I'm only asking you why. Anybody can answer for this question? Why? What could be the reason? In Disha Bharat, no answer is wrong here. Come on. Why? Fantastic. We're celebrating his values that he shared with us. Beautiful. What's your name? Prakriti. Give her a big round of applause. Very nice answer. We're celebrating his values. Very right. Very right. My dear friends, do you all know that he came the darkest period of Indian history? You know, in between all these years, we've had wars. We had 2 world wars. We had a trade war. We had different kinds of war. And very recently, we have seen the biological war also, right? And there's so much of changes that's happened in the entire world. So much of development in science and technology, right? The world has changed. The perceptions has changed. The outlook has changed. The people have changed. We are living in a very, very different era. Why 10 years back also, I'm sure when you were children also, this much of development in your communications would not have been there. So we live in a very, very different era, but still we go back 160 years to talk about this person. As our Prakriti rightly said, it is the great person that he was. It is every minute of his life. It is his life is our message. That is why we celebrate. And do you all know, is there anybody in the world, we celebrate many birthdays, we organize many punyatithis like death days, but is there, if there is only one person whose speech today is celebrated, there is none other than Swami Vivekananda. When was his historic speech? Any idea? When was the speech? Any idea? My dear friends, you're all law students. You need to know. You know, you go even abroad, people first ask you, do you know Vivekananda? That's a fact, that's the truth. One of our friends called me and asked, ma'am, I don't know anything about Bhagavad Gita or Bharat. But here people ask me so much about Bharat and I feel so shy. Tell me which are the books I should read. This is very recently happened, I'm telling you. This is the fact about Bharat, right? Anyway, so his historic speech was on the 11th of September, 1893. And Universal Brotherhood Day, US, America celebrates this day as Universal Brotherhood Day. The message that Bharat gives to the world, universal brotherhood, right? This is what was Swami Vivekananda's greatness, that even today, the entire world talks about Swami Vivekananda. As I told you, he came to one of the darkest periods of Indian history. Why I call you darkest period, why I call this as the darkest period is, we were being ruled by the British. And do you know what the British told? These people are fit for nothing. He meant the Indians. They are a bunch of snake charmers. They believe in superstitions. They don't know anything. And it is a white man's burden to civilize these people. They said it's a white man's burden to civilize these people. Not knowing the fact that civilization or nagarikate or sabhyata or whatever we call it, we were the home for that, man. And these people had the guts to say that. At that point of time, we required a person with extraordinary merit, extraordinary courage and conviction to talk about Bharat and to put India on the entire Bharat world map. That was the kind of powerful person we needed. And that's exactly the time when Swami Vivekananda he came to this earth. Right? So we must remember him. We must talk about him. Friends, let me tell you one thing very clearly. The more and more you dwell in him, your life is a success. It's not for Vivekananda's sake or Bharat's sake you're going to talk about him. It is for each one of you sitting here. He can show you a purpose in your life. He can show you a direction in your life. If you're going to listen to the next few minutes, I don't want your head. I want your heart. Right? In very few minutes I'll take. But definitely you must know Swami Vivekananda. Right. Having said all this, let me ask you one more question. What was his childhood's name? Childhood name? Narendranath. Very good. Right. So as a child, even from his childhood, his life is very, very interesting. So much of, miracles, so much of, joyous things happening, full of life. Why I tell you this is, he lived only 39 years. How many years do we want to live, man? Do you want to live? How many years? Come on, let's be frank. Anybody? 100 years? Yeah? Not 100. Okay. At least 80? Chalo, that's okay. We all want to live 80 years. But then, we all add years to our life. But Swami Vivekananda added life to his years. That is the difference. No matter how much time we live, but how much of life we add to those years. And that is the powerful message that he gave to us. Every minute of his life was so powerful. So, it meant something. It had a lesson. It had a message. And so we talk about him even after 160 years. It so happened, when I talk about his childhood, it's a fantastic childhood, so much of conviction he had in himself. And he was a very straightforward person. Above all, a person who never lied for anything, who followed truth everywhere. It so happened once in Narendra Nath Datta's life, Naren, as a small boy, he goes to the school. His geography teacher asks a question. Geography teacher says, no, your answer is wrong. But then Naren says, no, ma'am, no, sir, I'm right. This is the right answer. It's very straightforward when he was speaking the truth. He said, no, this is the right answer I'm giving you. The teacher got more angry. He started beating him black and blue. And his hands were full. It was so badly beaten that he comes home crying. All his eyes swollen. He comes home and he shows it to the mother. Any idea whose mother's name? Anybody knows here? Okay, his mother was Bhuvaneshwari Devi, his father was Vishwanatha Datta. So he comes home to Bhuvaneshwari Devi and says, see mom, you said yavattu satyana helbeku anta helidilla, nodi enaitu anta, see what's happened. He said, Magu, enaitu, what happened? You said I should always tell the truth. Today I spoke the truth and this is what happened to me. At that point of time, you know what the mother says? Magu, anytime if the knife comes and falls on you, ನೀನ್ ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀನ್ ಕೊಂದಾಕ್ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಾಯಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಆ ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡ ಮಗು ಅಂತ. ನೆವರ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಅ ಲೈ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ he made this a foundation of his life. You can compromise anything for truth, but truth cannot be compromised or sacrificed for anything. That is the power of truth. And that is why when we see Vivekananda's life, the entire life, because he built it on the foundation of ethics, morals and values. That is the speciality. Now, when we talk about Vivekananda, just not for Vivekananda, each one of us have to reflect on ourselves. Am I truthful? Am I honest? Am I a person with integrity? Ask yourself. If you tell a yes to yourself, you are a step nearer to Vivekananda, where you make a mark for yourself. There is no doubt about it, right? So, this is one great foundation, hallmark of Vivekananda. Naren's life and childhood is his character. Excellent, blemishless, pure, noble, divine character. That was his speciality. And as one more day, it so happened when he came back from school, every day he used to share so much about the school to his mom. Amma, you know what happened in school today? He said, Amma, today the teacher asked, what do you want to become when you grow big? What did you say? He said, I want to become a Tangawala. Huh? You want to become a Tangawala? Why? He is so helpful, he is so compassionate. Every day, all of the children, when we go in the Tanga, he shows so much of love and affection to us, so much of compassion to us. I want to love everybody like my Tangawala does. So I want to be that Anukampantivala. That is what he shows to everybody. I like the way he loves people. He is so genuine. He is so loving. And the way he drives his Tanga is so majestic. I want to be like him. Howda Magu? Very good. You want to become a Tangawala? Come, I'll show you. The mother takes Naren to the nearby puja room and she shows a photo. Which photo was that? Wow, who said that? Very good. Give her a big applause. Very nice. None other than Krishna's photo. It was a Gitopadesha Krishna's photo. You know what Bhuvaneshwari Devi says? The mother says, Magu, you want to become a Tangawala? Become a Tangawala like him. Become a Tangawala like him. Why? Because in fact, he took the message so seriously. In the future, he became the charioteer for the Ratha called Bharat. Bharatge Saratya Madidru. He took the Bharatamba Rathakke Saratya Madidru Swami Vivekananda. He took the message of Bharat, the Vaibhava of Bharat, the glories of Bharat to the entire world. And the Sarathi was none other than Swami Vivekananda. He put the cultural map of India to the entire world. India came into the global map only after his visit to America. Please don't forget that. Till then, people had a very different approach or idea about perception about Bharat. right? That is where Swamiji Naren took his mother's lessons, all his Upadesha advice, and the mother had a deep impact on the child called Naren. As he grows, he becomes a youth, a very strong youth, full of conviction, full of inquisitiveness, full of curiosity. Now you're all youth sitting here. Yes?
Just a change of fact, when was the argument of Naren saying that?
Can we, after the speech, I will just, okay, please. After the speech, I'll take your question, my dear girl, okay? Because the flow of thoughts will just stop. Okay, so as he grew as a young boy called Naren, he was so inquisitive and so curious in his life. It so happened that he started asking himself, because of the power within him, the purity within him, he started asking people. He asked a question to himself, is there God? Bhagavantanu Lirana, is it true that God is there? He started asking everybody around him, is there God? Is there God? People say, hey, God is there somewhere, you are here. And people were giving pravachans. He went and asked, have you seen God? Yeah, he said, Krishna, we can't see him. He never got a convincing reply about God. So he almost came to conclusion, Bhagavanta Irodala Sullu. There is no God at all. It is all, all these people are. He definitely came to an almost near conclusion that there is no God. At that point of time, in his college, he was around 17 years old, right? In his Scottish Church College, there was a professor called Sir Williams. This Williams was taking a class on trance, Samadhi. Trance, by one poem he was teaching the class, right? And he says, this Samadhi was sthiti, an Adbhuta sthiti, where you become one with God. You become so one with God that you become, you just go into him, and it's a very, very rare experience. Antara ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ trance ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ then Swamiji sir, Naren says, sir, all this is lies, sir. Don't talk all this, sir. I have not seen anybody. People are saying there's no God at all. At that time, Sir Williams says, my dear boy, you want to see God, you want to understand this state of mind, go to a place called Dakshineshwar. There is a great person called Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He will help you. He will tell you, he is a self-realized soul. You go to him. And at that point, Naren is, do you think he can help you out, sir? Yes, he can help you. Please go. And Naren then, very, very shortly after that, he makes a trip. He sees Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And my dear friends, that day, the first time when these people meet, Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, it is one of the greatest days, not only for them, but for Bharat. Because the greatest Guru meeting the greatest Shishya on this earth. And the Guru showing the purpose of his life. There's a great Sandhi Kala, Yuga Sandhi Kala for Bharata. It is such an important day for all of us. And they meet. As soon as they meet, Naren, as everybody asks that straightforward question, sir, have you seen God? Yes, I've seen God. Pat came the reply, yes, I've seen God. And I'm seeing him more intensely than I'm seeing you. Wow. Can you show God to me? Yes, I can show you. He's so surprised. Then Ramakrishna says, my dear boy, who wants God, man? We want money, we want work, we want wife, we want children, we want house. We cry for all the material things, but there's nobody on earth who really wants to, who cries for God. You have such a big, lofty idol in front of you, and I will show God to you. He was so convinced. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was not a very attractive man. You all have seen the photos, right? He was not very attractive, not very highly English educated, definitely not. But he used to talk to Kali every day. And slowly Naren was so drawn to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. In the year 1881, they meet for the first time, right? And 1881, just 6 years of his time, he spends with his Guru. And that 6 years was not any ordinary time. He did not accept the Guru so easily. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಪರಿಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯ ಸೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಭಗವಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. You can question. So he gave a lot of liberty to argue, to debate, to question. All that he did to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. But the Guru patiently answered every question of Swami Vivekananda. 6 years, he sits at the feet of Ramakrishna to understand the knowledge, to understand the wisdom. But at that 6 years time was a very, very tough time for Naren personally in his life. Because he loses his father. His father dies suddenly out of the blue. So he lost his father, he lost his ancestral home, he lost his money. He just falls in so much of poverty. One day he sees his family struggling hard for a square meal a day. And the other side, he's got a lofty ideal of Guru taught, telling him that you have a great work and great purpose for which you're born. He's totally shattered between two important people in his life. One is family, one is, the Guru. He did not know what to do, but after 6 years, he trained his mind so strongly, my dear friends. You must see, read his life. The strength of mind. That is what all of us we need to do at this point of time. Shankaracharya says, Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandhamoksha Yoga antare. Andre, this mind is the reason for your success, mind is the reason for your failure. Dukkha kusar, sukha kusar, for everything, mind is the reason. The more and more you train your mind so strongly, success is yours. There is no two way about it. And this is exactly what Naren did. He trained his mind so strongly. And all the challenges that came to him, he was able to face. And it was during the last period of Ramakrishna's life, towards 1886, when he got throat cancer. His Guru got throat cancer. He's going to die, almost going to die. On one of those days, it so happens, Naren is sitting beside Ramakrishna, his Guru. And the two meet each other, eye to eye contact. And he sees Ramakrishna crying, shedding tears. And for some time, Naren loses himself. He goes into a state of samadhi. Everything around him is going literally happening. Something is happening to him. He is not himself at that point of time for a few minutes. After both of them come back to normalcy, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, "Hey Naren, all my spiritual powers, sadhana, tapas, whatever I had all these days, I've given everything to you. I've transferred everything to you. Today I've become a beggar in your hands." This is what he says, "I've become a beggar in your hands," is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. And at that a few days later, even then Naren's questioning thing did not go. Naren is asking himself, Ishtalla mataataralla, is it really God? He's getting doubt. At that point, in his deathbed, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Naren, the Rama you're talking about, Krishna you're talking about is Ramakrishna in this form, man. He did not even orally talk. But the doubt he had in his mind, the Guru was able to identify and say, this is Ramakrishna in this form. And finally he says, Naren, all the powers that I have given you, go and teach the world. Naren says, Swamiji, don't tell me to go and teach the world. I want to go back to Himalayas and do tapas. I don't want to teach the world and all that. That time Ramakrishna says, hey, you might not want to teach, but your very bones are going to do it. Your very bones are going to teach the entire world. Go take the message of Bharat to the entire world, and that is why you're born. Is what is a big message Swamiji gives, and he passes away. By the time Ramakrishna Paramahamsa passes away, young band of dedicated sannyasins are ready, around 10 to 12 of them, all youngsters, all so dedicated. Everyone they got mad about what? They want to live Ramakrishna through Ramakrishna's mission of life. They want to live through their lives. The next few years, they're literally getting mad in their lives. They don't have food. They're what to do now? Yen madbeku, samajake yen madbeku, bharatake yen madbeku anta aa chala aa kicchu shuru agutte avar mansali. They want to give back something to the world. But this bunch of young boys, who is going to believe? Who is going to trust them? Hold on. So, but then they made, again, as I told you, they trained their mind so strong. No food, no matter. No place to stay, no matter. Nothing matters. All that matters is the mission for which Ramakrishna lived. That is the power with which these people lived there. And they trained their mind so strongly. And after that was a great time. Naren says, at that time he says, now who are going to believe or trust these young boys? Who should be the people in the Samaja think that we are all mad? That is how they thought about us. But they didn't know what is the power and the fire inside us. None of them could recognize. And you know what he says? All these people, all the 12 people, they'll go and get the bhiksha for that day. And whatever little they get, all these people will share. And he says some days mandaki anta heltivalla belpuri aa mandakina tinodante with just one bevu soppu jote yakandre aa body na ashtu shikshe kodbeku ashtu kathorವಾಗಿ train ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆ ಮಂಡಕ್ಕಿ ತಿಂದಿದ್ದ ದಿವಸ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ ಅಂತೆ. That is the power with which these boys led their lives after Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa passed away. And after 2 years, Paramahamsa says, why are you sitting here? Go, get out. You have to go and see Bharat. You have come for a different purpose. And the council ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. He comes in a dream and says, Naren, go out of this place. And at that time, Naren goes out as a Parivrajaka sannyasi. He goes as a Parivrajaka sannyasi. He starts going to India. Entire Bharat he tours on his foot. And he's getting so surprised and shocked at Bharat. ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ನರೇನ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಬರೀ ಕಲ್ಕಟ್ಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಖ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ ದುಃಖ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ so he thought Calcutta was the world, but when he came out he understood what Bharat is all about. He's seeing the poverty, he understands the spiritual power of Bharat. At the same time he's seeing a irony that so people are not happy, people don't get food here, what is happening in my Bharat? Idar Parivraj sannyasi ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. One day he sees that he stays with Raja of Khetri, Raja of Ramnad, a royal reception. Some other day he sits under the banyan tree, does a tappa without any food and water. This is how he spent his 2 years. He had very, very rare and unique experiences. Once what happens in Varanasi, he just goes and has his bath in Ganga. He's coming out, he's seeing his clothes are missing. Hey, what has happened to my clothes? He just turns, he's seeing a group of monkeys there. And he's getting so scared, he started running and monkeys are chasing him. At that time, an old sannyasi there in Varanasi says, hey, stop, face the brutes, face the brutes. He said, wow, what a message. He immediately turns and just does like this. No, a monkey started going back. And Swamiji in the later life says, that was a big lesson for me. He says, that is a big lesson. When challenges come in our life, how do we face it? How do we accept the challenge and how do we face the challenge? This is a big lesson for all of us sitting here. We are not without challenges, my dear friends. Challenges are going to come in our lives. But when it comes, how, with what power and conviction you face the challenges, success lies there. Yes or no? So this is what another big lesson Swamiji in Parivrajaka days he gives to the world. At the same time, Iri Bharata Sutkondo finally comes and reaches the Kanyakumari, the tip of Bharat, that is Kanyakumari, right? He sees a big rock inside the sea. He wants to go inside the rock, but he can't go because he couldn't go because the boatman says, give me money, I'll take you there. He's a sannyasi, then okay, forget it. And then Swamiji jumps inside the sea, swims and goes. It was in the 1892 December 24, he reaches that rock. The next 3 days, 72, no, 1 hour Allah, 2 hours Allah, 1 day Allah, 2 days Allah, 3 days, he sits in that rock and he cries and cries and cries and does dhyana. He does not do dhyana on Rama or Krishna or Ramakrishna also. Can you believe? He does dhyana on Bharat Mata. The entire 3 days, hey Bharat Mata, Tayi nin yakama ishtu kashta. One kade we talk about the goddess of wealth and we see so much of badatana, so much of poverty in India. On one side we talk about Lord Saraswati and we see so much of illiteracy. On one kade we talk about Ma Durga, the goddess of power. But here we are so powerless and British or Tulita Adarala, we are subjugated by the British. What is happening to us? What a irony. And Nam Jana, he is not able to see his brother and feel get so hungry. He wants to do something for them. His heart bleeds for them. And 3 days after crying and crying, my dear friends, trust me, Bharat Mata gives the darshan to him. Bharat Mata comes there. Today also you can go to Kanyakumari, the rock stands as a testimony. Vivekananda rock memorial, that's still the rock is there. It stands as a testimony for Vivekananda's tapas and dhyana. Finally, after Bharat Mata's darshan he comes back to Chennai. His Chennai disciple says, Sir, Swamiji, there is a world parliament of religions and you have to go there. How does a sannyasi go, man? All the 2 years he went on the Parivrajaka sannyasi, that is the greatest of Bharat. He did not have a single paise. He just had a danda and kamandalu in his hand, and ashte, no money. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ನೋಡಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲೋದ್ರೂ ಊಟ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ. ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಬರ್ದಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಿಕ್ಷಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಗಿವ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಪವರ್. ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ಗೆ ಕೊರತೆ ಇರ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಬಡತನ ಇದ್ರೂ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೇಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಂಜಿ ಊಟ ಇದ್ರೆ ಗಂಜಿ ಊಟ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. That is the power of Bharat, and that is exactly what happened to Swamiji in his 2 years of Parivrajaka days. That is a great Annadata Sukhi Bhava ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು Swamiji. But then when the people come and say that you have to go to America, and Raja of Khetri and Raja of Ramnad collect some money, they say, Swamiji, please go to America. He goes to America. That's one of the greatest journeys he embarked. One of the greatest journeys, again, as I told you before, for India as a country, because it's going to change the destiny of India. So that's when he went. And he reached, I mean, in between, lot of very interesting stories are there which we cannot talk about. But he reaches Chicago. As soon as he reaches Chicago, he comes to know, why have you come? People ask that. The conference is not now. It is going to happen only in the month of September. Swamiji says, because Akala, cell phone illa, phone illa, no cell phone. So, oh, September, then how do I live here? Because it's a very costly city. And the organizers say, from where have you come? He says, I come from India. Give me the credentials. Who is giving you a recommendation letter? Oh yeah, obviously. If I have to come and stand in KD Law College, she has to give me, madam, come, Mata, I can come. I can't gate crash and come inside, right? So that is what, it's natural they ask for a credential. Swamiji did not sannyasi, yellow credential here. He did not have. And people said, look, Chicago is a costly city. Better you go to Boston. That's a cheap city. Anta. Look, what happened was he took a train and went to Boston. He did not know Boston. He did not know anybody in Boston. One old lady by name Catherine was sitting next to him and looking at his robes. Looking at his robes, because she asked, you don't look like an American. Who are you? Then they just get into conversation. Just as Boston station comes, she asks, where are you going to go? So, master. He says, I don't know. Immediately the lady says, come to my house. Be my guest. Be my guest, Sankaran. Swamiji, that's what I'm telling you. When we embark on a noble journey, friends, trust me, help comes from everywhere. I, me, mine, and on selfish journey. Now we're all into that, anchoring our lives to a selfish journey. No problem, no harm. But if you can think of a bigger family, selfless like one journey to God is with us. And this is a proof not only for Swami Vivekananda, but all of us. Definitely, yes, Bhagavanta is always going to be with you. And this unknown lady says, come to my house, and she hosts him so nicely. And she calls all her friends, American in the Indian in the Bandira, come and see him, and people come and see. And Swamiji one day was just taking a walk. Swamiji is to challenge Kashta Badrino. His conviction has never come down. One day he was just walking in the park there and looking at his robe, one wife and one couple were just walking, right? And because he was not known to people of America, it so happened, hey, look at that, wife is commenting, hey, look at that guy, he doesn't look like a gentleman, look at his clothes, he doesn't look like a gentleman. Takshana Swamiji felt so bad. And then she's commenting on the monastic order of our country. He felt very hurt. Immediately, Pat came and reply, excuse me, ma'am. In your country, a tailor decides who a gentleman is. In my country, character decides who a gentleman is. And the helmet hota hai Swamiji. That is the power of Swamiji, right? So he just walked away. And after that, when Harvard University professor, Swamiji says, give me a recommendation letter, ma'am, Catherine. Catherine calls a Harvard University professor. And you know what the professor says? You want me to meet an Indian? Hey, I don't want to waste my time. But then Catherine begs, give me 5 minutes time to meet this person. Because he's come here for a big cause. Please help him out. And very reluctantly, this John Henry Wright, he accepts to meet Swami Vivekananda. He says, I can give you only 5 minutes. But then both of them started talking. The conversation went on for 5 minutes. All the topics under the sun. He talks about Bharata Vedanta, Bharata's knowledge systems, everything under the greatness of Bharat. And this man is so surprised. And after the 5 hours of conversation, he asks, Swamiji says, sir, can you give me a recommendation letter? Henry Wright says, sir, asking for a recommendation letter from you is asking a sun its right to shine, sir. You are like a sun shining. Do you want a recommendation letter? Is what Harvard professor says. After that, he says, anyway, I want something to return. Anta heldaga. He writes to the president of the World Parliament of Religions. He says, in the 400 years of American history, I have not seen one such knowledgeable professor putting all the learned professors of America in the balance on Takadi in one side, and when you put Swami Vivekananda on the other, his thing will be more weight, jasti thuka irutte, that will be more weight, jasti. So he is such a powerful person. Please allow him, knowledgeable person, allow him to take part. Anta on the recommendation letter Swamiji was given. Trust me, that was a great thing for Swamiji because he got a recommendation letter. And at that point of time, okay, now September 11th was his chance to talk. Very few days before that, he arrives in Chicago. Chicago, Bandmel, again, nobody knows him. He literally begs for food. He begs for food. And people say in America, begging is crime, man. Who are you? Why are you begging? And it was so cold there, he did not have place to stay. He stayed in a box car. One cement box car already, he just went inside to save himself from the biting cold. That was what happened to him. So many challenges that he had to face. But then every time he thought, should I go back to India or should I stay back in America? Every time his inner heart said, stay back, you've come here for a cause. You've come here for your purpose. Your guru has shown you that purpose and you have to stay back. So come what may, I will stay back again. On Mamas Gatti Markolta, he is staying. On the D-Day, that is of September 11th, my dear friends, 7,000 odd audience in the World Parliament of Religions, all of them sitting. Swamiji was seeing the big crowd, all of them coming with their paper presentations, big long papers had published, and they are reading out the papers. Swamiji did not even know whether he is participating. He did not prepare any paper. And morning he said, the organizer said, sir, are you going to speak? He said, no, next session. Second session, no, next session. Post afternoon, the organizer again comes and asks, sir, are you going to speak? Then the organizer says, if you're not going to speak now, you'll never get a chance. Swamiji just goes there, straight, stands in front of 7,000 odd audience, and he starts his speech. What is that he said? Any idea? Any idea what did he say? How did he start his speech? Absolutely. Sisters and brothers of America. That's it. The next 2.5 minutes, standing ovation. People started clapping. But remember one thing, I want to tell something at this point of time. Don't think that just because that 5 magical sentences changed his destiny. No, definitely not. The tapas of so many years, the sadhana of so many years, the dedication of so many years, the life that he led for the last so many years, the culmination happened on 11th of September. The tapas was reflection or testimony of his presence in that place, and overnight that 2.5 hour and minute applause. And after that, how many minutes did he speak? Any idea? It was hardly 3.5 minutes. Just 3.5 minutes. And the next day, American papers said, Swami Vivekananda stole the show. What? He became the hero. Entire world is talking about him. America is talking so proudly and big time about Swamiji. That was the power he got. Overnight, he became famous because of the conference. But that over achanakat baralla, my dear boys and girls. Please understand. If, for example, you're all writing a KL law exam or you want to write an IAS exam, do you think just you go write exam and you say you pass? Definitely not. The work, the hard work that you have done for last so many years will reflect in your results. Yes or no? It is exactly what happened to Swamiji. On that day, when his speech became so famous, it so happened 3.5 minutes. You know the parinama yenaitu gotta? 3.5 years he had to stay in America. The next 3.5 years he had to stay in America. People called, come here, come there, and on that day, on 11th of September, one very rich man says, sir, I want you to host me to my house. I want you to be my guest. So he said, because he did not have a place to say, yes, I'll come. He went there. It was a palace. He stays there. He goes there. He eats. A person for the last so many months has not eaten properly, has not slept properly. And this man was given Vivekananda was given a beautiful bedroom. He had to sleep. One big program is over. Stress he would have slept properly, but he did not. That day, when he saw the bed and he saw the entire house, he goes that night, he goes near the window of that room, looks eastward, looks at Bharat, and he starts crying, Tai Bharati, Lakshmi, there's so much of luxury is there, lavishly people are spending. Very fine, tumba santosha. Adre nanna jananga yavag uddhara martiyama, nanna jananga yavag utta kodtiyama, nanna jananga yavag mane kodtiyama. They're struggling so much. He literally bleeds for Bharat. He literally bleeds for Bharat, my dear friends. That is the power of Swamiji. How he loved India and the Indians. That is the power. You know why he went to America? It's not for himself. He says, America, he wants to give the knowledge of Bharat there and bring the money here so that Indians' life can change. So that day he literally cries and he says, how can I sleep on a luxurious bed when it is literally pricking me? Because my people are suffering on sitting or sleeping on the platforms of Bharat Mantayali. That is our sister Nivedita, one of the foremost disciples, an English disciple of Swami Vivekananda. She's an Irish woman, her sister Elizabeth Noble. She becomes Sister Nivedita and she comes to India. She has written a lot of books and one of the very foremost women who work for women empowerment. You know what she says? Swamiji was India. He was condensed India. He says India was his passion. India was his nightmare. India was his daydream. He was very embodiment of India in flesh and blood. He was a very symbol of India. He was very symbol of her purity, her divinity, her spirituality, her vision, her power, and her destiny. That is, in short, he was condensed India. That was Swami Vivekananda for all of you, my dear friends. That was Swami Vivekananda. So the next few years, the next 3 years was a great journey for him. All over people called him. In one place they said, Swamiji, you speak so nicely of India. Today come to our place. You have to speak. I'll give you 1 hour time. Hey, 1 hour you want to speak of? I can't speak of India, about India in 1 hour, sorry. Then they said, no Swamiji, that is only 1 hour. Please come. They'll ring the bell and you can stop. Swamiji accepts and he goes. He started Nanda Bharata, Bhavya Bharata, Divya Bharata and Shuru Martare. He loses his body consciousness. 1 hour over one bell. Second hour again, one more bell, Bharata there. Swamiji is not stopping. Man who has lost his body consciousness, how will he know? He didn't stop at all. Finally, his organizers, oh, this guy is going to hypnotize us. And the Bhaya might bant over here. Literally, they went and shook him. Shook him and said, Swamiji, stop. What happened? Swamiji said, what happened? What happened? Swamiji was speaking for 4 hours, Swamiji. Swamiji said, now I'm really proud to be an Indian. Even after 4 years, introduction to Indian culture is not over. I'm proud to be an Indian, Swamiji. That is the power of Indian culture, right? So after that, the people are so jealous in America. Some of them, many have become his disciples, but a few are not very happy about Swamiji's work and the Indian message. So it so happens in one place, they literally want to get a bad name for him on his character. They want to show something bad on his character. They literally ask a woman to go behind him. And this lady keeps going everywhere. And one fine day, that lady says, so you come for food in my house. Swamiji, as his sannyasi, he goes, has food. After the food is over, that lady says, Swamiji, I want to talk something to you. Yes, what is it? Swamiji, I want to marry you. You want to marry me? Why? He very casually says, why? Swamiji, you are so intelligent. You are so handsome. You speak so well. You are so knowledgeable. I want a son just like you, Swamiji. Swamiji, back came the reply. My dear lady, you have to marry me. We have to get a son, and that son has to become 20 years to know whether he's like me or not. And even then, after 20 years is only my Xerox copy. Why do you want to have a Xerox copy when you have an original son here? From today onwards, I'm your son and you are my mother. And Sashtanga Namaskara Mattarallene. That is the power. Etta Naryastu Pujante, Ramante Tatra Devata Ante Heli Bharatiya Samskritina Torstare Swamiji. And one more incident, same again to taunt him, when they take him to a library. They keep stack all the religion books all over the world. They start and they say, Swamiji, see where you have kept your Bhagavad Gita. It is in the last. That is the place you deserve. And the Thara taunt Madis, they show, look where the Bhagavad Gita is kept. Swamiji, very casually says, yeah, you kept it in the right place, man. What he does is just tries to pull the Bhagavad Gita, all the books fall. Hey, everything fell down. Swami says, Yavaga Bharati Samskriti Kalagi Bidato, it is Prapancha Samskriti Bitbidotapa. Bharati Samskriti is the one that is literally holding the entire world. Antahedi, Bhemmen Swamiji. That is the way he showcased the Indian culture everywhere. After 3.5 years, along with a few disciples, every disciple says, Swamiji, I want to do something for you. You want to do something for me? Love India. They all come to India with Swamiji. All of them travel. And during the journey, they ask, Swamiji, after 4 years of luxurious luxurious West, how do you feel today? Going back to India. Swamiji says, yes, before coming from India, I knew it is a holy place. But now it is a pilgrimage center, a holy tirtha. I'm going on a tirtha yatra, and here Swamiji comes, Ashtala. And now the Indians who heard so much about this person, till the 30th year, nobody knew who Swami Vivekananda was. But Swami Vivekananda, there's a book called, a beautiful book, that lady says, A Gift Unopened. She says, it was Columbus who discovered the soil of America, but it was Swami Vivekananda who discovered the soul of America. Literally the soul of America he discovered, a beautiful book there. So after that, when he comes to India, he reaches India in Colombo, a huge rousing reception. People are waiting to see this man. Yaru nodbeku anta kaayta idare. You know what? Red carpet welcome hakidare. He did not go to the red carpet. Straight he goes, takes some mud. So the mud togondo, he started rubbing his head. People saying, what is happening? You know, Swamiji said, all these years I was in a bhoga bhumi hogi bandidini. Eshte ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ some I'm cleansing myself. ಚಿತ್ತ ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾ ಧರ್ಮ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಭೂಮಿ ಕರ್ಮ ಭೂಮಿ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ. I want to cleanse this mud ಅಂತಾರೆ Swamiji. That is how he loved Bharat. But after coming to Bharat from Colombo to Almora, his lectures, he started literally scolding the Bharatis. Scolding and then he started shouting at the Bharatians, what are you people doing, man? You're all simply sleeping. You're like sleeping lions. You don't know the power of Bharat. You don't know the culture of Bharat. We are happily getting subjugated and ruled by somebody. It is time you wake up. And they literally gives a rousing call to the Indians to say that we had a great, glorious past and we have a good future, provided we understand what we from where we have come. And one powerful message he gives to all over India. Martha, my dear friends, he has done great job. ತುಂಬಾ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. And in the year 1897 he establishes the Ramakrishna Matha, a new breed of sannyasis who say atmano mokshartham jagatita ashte alla. Not only that, you know, sannyasis are meant for moksha. You have to start working for the society. Seva ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. You have to do some seva. And one sannyasi comes and says, Swamiji, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಭೋಗಿಗಳಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೋಗಿ, ಭೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ. Swamiji says, first ಉಪಯೋಗಿ ಆಗಪ್ಪ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯೋಗಿ ಆಗುವ ಅಂತೆ. You have to be helpful to the society ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, at that time Swamiji ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡಿ lectures ಮಾಡಿ, whatever little money he got, he purchased a land to build a temple for Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. And that is the time in Calcutta there was a huge plague that struck. They were not able to collect. Hundreds of people were dying because of the plague. They could not collect funds to help the people. At that time, Swamiji's disciples said, Swamiji, we are not able to collect funds. And Swamiji says, sell this land. The disciples are shocked. What is this? All your life you have worked so much to build a temple for Ramakrishna. And now you want to sell the land, Swamiji? Swamiji says, you see Ramakrishna in the Murti of the temple. I see Ramakrishna and all the poor dying people. They are the Ramakrishnas. They are the Shivas whom we have to help at the head. That is the way he literally seva manobhava. So much of seva Swamiji is unbelievable. And that is how Ramakrishna Paramhamsa Matha, even today, they make a great deal of difference. Ya Atmano Mokshartham Jagatitaya Chano. Great tagline alli kelsa madadu Vivekananda Ramakrishna Matha. So my dear friends, Vivekananda has inspired so many people. It could be Subhash Chandra Bose, who started his own INA. It could be Jamshedji Tata. Today we are proudly talking about Tata Institute. But the Tata Institute, if you go and look at the story of Tata Institute, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, the inspiration came from Swami Vivekananda. It could be the rural movement of Anna Hazare. It could be so many. It could be Arulima Simha. So many from those days till today. Thousands have been inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Thousands have. He's shown their life. He's shown them the direction to their lives. So inspiration. He's still an inspiration. He's living inspiration. The 7 years of his public life, 700 years of message he has given it. That is why I told you in the beginning. All of you start reading Vivekananda. Start listening to Vivekananda. He will show you the purpose of your life. He will make your life more meaningful and purposeful. Why I'm telling you this? This is when Swamiji said he saw three big predictions he made. He said the next 50 years, Alim, India is going to see freedom in the most unforeseen situation, and we saw freedom come in the 47, but with a partition. The second prediction he made, communism wherever it started, it's going to die there. That also happened. The third prediction he said, I see my motherland more glorious than ever she was. She's going to get up, she's going to become a Vishwa Guru. I see Bharat Mata like a superpower. Anta one dot prediction, one dot mission al kelsa madida haudu, and he's seen this great mission of his. And one more thing he said was, I have a great hopes on the youths of today. He meant all of you. He meant all of you, my dear friends. He said, I'm having great hopes on the youth of this country, out of whom will come and work my workers like lions. Lions are kelsa madoru barta idare anta. That is the confidence that he had in all of you, my dear friends. Take inspiration from Swami Vivekananda. Read Vivekananda. Today, yaro bandru college alli some lady came, some spoke. That is okay. You can forget me, but don't forget Swami Vivekananda. Because as I told you, he will show your purpose in life. He will show your direction in life. He will show how to lead a life. It could be Swami Vivekananda's character. It could be the power that he had for the country, the love for his country, the love for this culture, and the power of seva. All these four is what, if you have any one of this, you're near to Vivekananda. If you have all this, you are Vivekananda waiting to get manifested. That is the power you have all. As Swamiji said, you are the creator of your own destiny. It is very true. And all power is within you. All that power is within you, my dear friends. Just read Vivekananda. Make your lives more meaningful, purposeful, and ensure that when you exit from the world, you leave your footprints in the sands of time. And the next generations talk about the good work, Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, the good deeds that you have done. The next generation should talk about that. That is what Vivekananda did to us, and that is what we need to do to the next generations. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. I've given, no, you've given already. I take it.
Thank you so much, Srimati Ramachandran, for such insight. Now I'd like to call Arpit sir for the vote of thanks.
First of all, ma'am, we are very thankful that today you could join us, and we are very grateful that we have been associated with Disha Bharat for so many years. We at KD Society Law College have been part of Disha Bharat's entire mission, and our students have learned so much from you, ma'am. Thank you. And on behalf of my colleagues and my students, I express my gratitude. I'd also like to express my gratitude to Dr. Subramanian Gaurapan sir for his guidance, and our Honorable Principal, Dr. J.M. Malukund sir, for his guidance throughout this year. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I think one girl had some question. Yes, ma'am. If she can come here, I can answer her. I don't know.